Hello and welcome to Wandering Heart Knits. I am Lisa. I'm coming to you from a very snowy Pacific Northwest of Canada on Vancouver Island. It is so snowy. I will put some pictures in, maybe some video. Holy moly. It has been a crazy few days. I'll get into that. Thanks for being here. If you are new here, thank you for joining me. I'm so happy to get to spend this time with you and chat with you and share all of my yarny goodness, all the things I'm working on, the plans I have, the love of yarn that I have. You can see some of my things here. If you have watched before and you are coming back, thank you so much for coming back. Thank you for liking and subscribing and commenting. Whew, it's so good. It feels so good to be part of such a great, supportive, fun community. And to be really honest, when I started knitting a year ago, just over a year ago, I had this misconception that, knitting was for old grannies. I'm so happy it's not, because I really love it. And I mean, I'm sure that there are grannies that knit. Also, there are lots of non-grannies who knit, very young people. I'm not young, I'm not old. I'm in that weird stage of life where I'm definitely not young, but I'm also not old. Although if you ask my kids, I'm probably old. Try not to get that weird glare on because it's so bright out. Anyway, I'm 40 almost. And I'm so happy that it's not like just a community of all one age group. Like the age range is so large in the knitting community and it's so fun. And I've interacted with people from all across the world. It's so cool. I just love it. So thanks for being here with me. I'm just gonna tell you quick about this last few days because it's been insane. So Friday, here in British Columbia, we had, well, I'm thinking it's probably all of British Columbia, but in our school district for sure, we had Thursday and Friday as professional development days. And so for me, I had Thursday off and I worked Friday. I had to do Zoom workshop thingies. So my kids were off, I was off, and then tomorrow is actually family day here. So it's a holiday. So it's been a very long weekend. My kids had 5 days off. I had 1 day and then I worked and then I had the rest of the days. On Thursday, I decided that I was gonna go through all the patterns that I have purchased. So this whole binder is patterns that I own. I have some more in my Ravelry that I haven't printed. So I decided on Thursday I was gonna go through all of my patterns and select yarn for them, create projects. And I did that. So I'm gonna share with you some of the things that I'm gonna be working on, over an indefinite period of time. I'm not putting any timeline on this. This is just, I really wanna use up my stash. And I only want to buy yarn with specific projects in mind. Otherwise, I end up with yarn that I'm not going to use, which I do have some yarn that I'm not sure what I'll do with. I might start a northeasterly blanket or a cozy memories blanket or something like that so that I can use up the stuff that I probably won't use in other projects. So I spent my day on Thursday doing that. That is so fun to do. It's amazing. Then Friday, knitting away. I started a new project, shocker, with some incredible yarn that I will tell you about when I get to that part. I don't want to ruin the surprise. I keep looking outside because it's so snowy and it's just so, it's like a winter wonderland. It is magical and it's still snowing. It started snowing Friday night and it's pretty much snowed. It is Sunday. I forgot to say that. It is Sunday, February 14th. It is Valentine's Day. And yeah, it's just been snowing that whole time. So anyway, Friday I was knitting and we keep our house at 19.5 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit, but I'll put it on the screen. Or probably, I always put things right there. Put it there. That's what we keep our house at. And at around 5 o'clock in the evening, I started to feel quite chilly. And I went and checked my thermostat and it said 17.5 and I was like, oh, that's weird. And the backlight on my thermostat was off. There was no light to my panel. So I thought, oh, that's strange. And I kind of thought about it, but I didn't. I thought, oh, it'll kick back on. It didn't. It did not come back on. So at 8:30, when it was 14 degrees in our house, Celsius, I thought, oh, I should probably call our landlord. So we don't own this house, we rent. And thankfully our landlord is incredible. He's so amazing. I called him, he came over. I guess I called him at 8, he got here by 9 and he was trying to figure out what it was and he couldn't. So he was on the phone with a friend of his who was an electrician. Long story short, they came to this idea that the breaker, which controls our heat pump and our furnace, had broken. So, okay. So we had to stay overnight Friday night without any heat. That was fun. It was cold. So when we woke up Saturday morning, it had snowed, I don't know, 6 inches of snow probably, maybe more. It was crazy. And we woke up and our house was 11 degrees Celsius. Again, I'll tell you right here what that is in Fahrenheit. It was cold. And so anyway, he could not find a replacement breaker anywhere around us. So he couldn't find it in Nanaimo, which is a bigger city, or Duncan. So he ended up having to drive to Courtney in a snowstorm. And Courtney is about an hour-and-a-half drive on a good day. He had to drive to Courtney and back. So at around noon-ish, he got here. And thankfully, it worked. Maybe it was afternoon. It was 1 o'clock. I don't know. I was cold. My brain was frozen. I was wearing a toque and a scarf and sweaters, blankets in my house. It was crazy. I did have a plug-in heater, but it just doesn't do it when it's cold outside. So anyway, he got it to work. Thank goodness, because it would have been a very cold night yesterday if it didn't work. So that was crazy. That was a crazy thing. And it snowed a lot. 2 crazy things. Yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on. What am I wearing today? Well, if you've watched any of my other videos, well, my first one specifically, I talked about all the things I have knit. I knit in 2020, and this is one of the things. So I knit the Cozy Classic Raglan by Jessie May Designs in Holstgarn. This is Holstgarn Super Soft. Held double, so I use 2 colors. I use geranium and sweet pea. And I love this sweater. It's so warm and I like the way it's constructed. I like the make of it. I love the raglan detailing, like just this little stitch here. I love it. I love the color, but it is so itchy. But today I thought I'm gonna wear it with a long sleeve shirt. You can see my white long sleeve shirt. And I'm gonna try to maybe desensitize myself from the itchiness. I don't know if that's a thing. And then after I'm done filming, I have to wash some other hand knit clothes. So I'm gonna wash it again and see if that helps it soften a little bit more. It is called Super Soft. I want to wear this sweater. I just don't want to be itchy wearing it. So far, I've been wearing it for like 20 minutes or so, and I'm not itchy yet. So that's good. Okay, so I have only one finished project to show you, and it's actually like an old whip that on Thursday when I was going through all my stuff, I decided I was either gonna frog things or finish them. And so I found this hat, which I started in December. It is the Arabesque hat by Originally Lovely. I have now like 4 of these hats. I love this pattern. I can't recommend it enough. This detail of the diamonds is my favorite. And it's, you don't use a cable needle for it. It's so fun. So this is done in Knit Picks Precosia merino wool. So this yarn is single ply. I don't know if you can really see. It's a single ply yarn. It breaks really easily. It's super, super soft and very warm and so squishy. So I bought it kind of not knowing what I was going to do with it. I have a lot of it. It came in 5 different colors. I got a pack of it. So I made some headbands for Christmas, and then I made this hat, and I think I'll probably make, it's really good for accessories like that because it's super warm and so soft. So probably some scarves or more hats or something when I use up that yarn. But yeah, so I finished this the other day. I was pretty much done. I think I was, here. I don't know why I put it away, but I did. And yeah, so there's my arabesque hat. It's so beautiful. And the colors, I don't know if you can see the different, there's like darker spots and lighter spots in the wool, in the yarn. Cool. So that's a finished object. And then something else. So this, just fair warning, this is old and it is raggedy. It is stained, and anyway, I didn't even know I knit it. So my oldest daughter is about to turn 16, and when she was born, we had this lovely neighbor who knit us, or crocheted maybe. I don't have the blanket in front of me to look at. I think it's crocheted, this really beautiful baby blanket. And when we had my second daughter, we had moved to a different province. So I decided that I would knit her something. And she's almost 14. So when I told you that I started knitting in 2020, that was kind of not true, because I knit something, in 2005, 2006. So I knit a baby blanket. You can see there's a hole. I think maybe I dropped a stitch. No, I added. I increased. There's another one over here. Whoops. Where I increased. The ends aren't woven in. It's it's not very big. It's just this cute little blanket. Anyway, Maddie, my nearly 14-year-old, was cleaning out her room and organizing, and she found it, and I was like, oh, I want to show. It's like my very first knit item. So anyway, it's not a newly finished item, but it's finished. And I knit it, so that's fun. Okay, so works in progress. I have a few that you've seen. So I have my Flax Light. Flax Light is by Tin Can Knits. You've seen this. I haven't been working on it that much. I might have done, I don't know, just a couple of rows since my last podcast. Yeah, it's on Leo and Roxy in a color called Purple Haze in merino, superwash merino. So it's quite fine. I'm doing this on 3.5 needles, 3.5 millimeter needles. And I think that's why I've put it down, because it's slow going. Also, I get super excited when I get an idea, and then I want to try that idea out. So that is a work in progress. It will It's living up on the shelf now, not on my cart. I point over here, you can't see my cart. Yeah, it's living on the shelf now because I have other projects that I'm working on. So that's one work in progress. And my other work in progress is I'm doing the Rye Light socks in the Tangled Poets Wee skeins. So I made a magic knot ball. The little skeins that I got, I showed them in another video. They're 7, I got 25 of them for $25, and they're 7 grams each. I had to weigh them to see how much they were, so I knew how many I needed to use. So I just picked a bunch of them that I thought looked nice together, and I put them in I separated them into 2. How did I do it? I like wound some into one ball, then cut it and wound it into another ball, and I made 2 similar in order magic knot balls. And so I'm just working away on these Rye Light socks. I'm on the foot part now. And I'm not sure that I have enough. Whoops, I just threw that little yarn ball. I don't know that I have enough left on that yarn ball to finish it, but that's okay because I have more of those mini skeins that I can just magic knot onto it and keep going. So that's what I'm doing. This is a heel flap and gusset. The pattern is free from Tin Can Knits. Super easy to follow. I highly recommend Tin Can Knits patterns. My Flax Light is also by Tin Can Knits, and like I just love their patterns. So easy to follow. They're well written. There's not a lot of extra stuff written down in the pattern. You kind of get to the pattern. I love it. So that is another work in progress. I have quite a few this time. So if you've seen previous episodes, you'll know that I was working on Mrs. Weasley's jumper sweater for my oldest daughter, Emma. So it's going to be this denim blue color, and I was going to do duplicate stitch the letter E on it for her. Well, I was having a really hard time picking it up, and I just was slogging through it. I was doing it with Cloudborn Highland DK, and I would actually say that this is a light DK now that I've learned more about wool. So this is all my unraveled sweater. I had gotten it pretty far down, like I was well past separating for the sleeves. But when I looked at it, it was going to be quite a fitted sweater. And while it would have fit her perfectly because it fit me and she's smaller than me, I thought that doesn't seem like the right kind of sweater for a Mrs. Weasley jumper. I feel like a Mrs. Weasley jumper needs to be oversized a little bit. So I asked Emma what she thought about it, and she said, yeah, I don't want it to be too tight. So I decided that I was going to then hold that yarn double. So I went up to 6mm needles, holding that yarn double. And so I have done this much on it. I ripped it all the way out. I'm just starting over, which is fine. This is going to be the project I take with me to work. So when I'm at lunch, on my lunch break, this is a pretty easy project to knit. It won't take long to get it done because it's on such big needles. So I'm working on that. That is going to be awesome. I hope to have it done by March 6th, which is her 16th birthday. It's a couple weeks away, hopefully. Okay, and then I have another one in my Marauders map bag. This is my first project bag. I bought it on Etsy from a company called Yarn Unique UK. I'll just show you this. This came in the last 2 weeks since I did my last podcast. I ordered this Ravenclaw Harry Potter sock set, and it came in this bag. And whoops, I meant to be prepared for this. Uh-oh. it came with this little pin of stitch markers. So I don't know if you can really see them that well. Hopefully you can. Oh, you can't even see the best one. I'll spread them out a bit. There's an owl, a spider, the whomping willow tree, a lightning bolt, and a lion. So it came with those, which is super, super sweet. They're so cute. I haven't used them yet. I don't know why I haven't actually. I'm gonna take them off that pin and use them. But anyway, what I was actually showing you is my, and I'm going to say this wrong, Scove Bear shawl by Fiber Tales. Oh man, I love the Fiber Tales podcast. There's something about her. She's so peaceful and so calm and just lovely. So I am making a shawl. It's like a mild crescent shawl. Yeah. Oh, the colors look really pretty. So I am using a Leo and Roxy yarn in the colorway Ice Ice Baby. It, for some reason, really reminds me of Frozen 2. There's something about the colors together, the light blue, the white, the teal. I'm a huge Frozen 2 fan. And so this is my Frozen Scove Bear shawl. And I do remember when I watched the YouTube video. So this was a video tutorial how to do this. It's free. It is so easy. The hardest part is making the little what's it called? The little garter tab to get you started. And then it has this really pretty edge detail. I really like it. I've never made a shawl. It feels nice. It's squishy because it's garter stitch. I'm making it on 3.5 millimeter needles. I like it. It's so, so easy to do. So this was my at work project, but now Emma's sweater takes precedent. But yeah, the pattern is super easy. I watched the video on YouTube and it was lovely. She's so lovely to watch. She showed you exactly how to do it, and then away you go. Okay, now, oh, I'm so excited. I bought the Pink Fizz pattern by Andrea Mowry right away when it came out. I loved it, and then I was like, ooh, I'm really intimidated by it. It has lace and cables, and it's a bottom-up sweater. I've never done a bottom-up sweater. It just seemed like it was too advanced for me. And then I was watching my friend, the podcast Unico Knits. If you haven't watched her podcast, please go watch it. She's so lovely. Her podcast is full of incredibly inspiring projects and yarn. Well, she makes her own yarn, and that's under Unico Yarns. And so I ordered some yarn with the idea that I was gonna make a love note sweater. And then the yarn came. And I was like, oh, I'm changing my mind. So Unico Yarns is a micro diary in Bornholm, Denmark. So Bornholm is this tiny, it's like an island in the Baltic Sea. So cool. So I was super excited to order this yarn, and I ordered, this color is called Lavender. It's looking a little more pinky purple on the camera. It's much more of a cooler bluish purple. There's her tag. So cool. And this yarn is 4-ply fingering weight, 100% superwash merino wool. It is so squishy and so lovely. So it's 400 meters, and I ordered 3 of these. And then to go with it, I also ordered from Unico Yarns Lavender and it is 72% kid mohair, 28% silk brushed singles. And it's 50 grams and it's 420 meters per 50 gram. Single ply lace weight. Okay, this is like a cloud. She also was so amazing and sent me a goodie, a little surprise, and this is 75% merino wool, 25% nylon, and it's called Autumn Socks. And honestly, I love this. This is not a color I would ever, not a colorway I would ever pick up, but man, is it ever beautiful. So I'm definitely gonna make socks with it. Well, I say definitely, but I think that's what I'm gonna do, socks. So she sent me that as a bonus, which is just so, I love that. I love getting extra little surprises. So when this yarn arrived, I was like, wait a minute. I don't know about the love note. Like, I love the love note. I want to make one of those, but I don't have that pattern, and I have the Pink Fizz pattern. And I was like, I'm just gonna go for it. So I paired them together, and I am working on the Pink Fizz sweater. Oh, I'm just gonna make sure I don't lose anything here, that I'm not tangled. Okay, so here we go. It looks so beautiful on the camera. Oh my gosh. So see, I haven't looked at it like this because I've been knitting on it. So I started this today. I started this on Thursday. I knit the back hem on Thursday night. Friday morning, I started on the front hem. I did the front hem and then I joined them. That's how you do it. I'm not going to tell you too much. There's 4 lace panels, 2 on the front, 2 on the back. It is not scary to make this. So like, do you see that? Wow. It's like, it's pretty impressive. I've never done a lace sweater. The only cabling projects I've ever done are these, which, yeah, I mean, technically this is a type of cable, but I've never done anything, you know, the swirly. There's like swirls and then there's circles. So there's swirls here, circles. There's these beautiful, like kind of petally looking things. So her chart, when I first looked at the chart, I was like, I have no idea how to read that. It's crazy. It's got lines and dots and swirly things with lines and circles, and like, I was like, there's no way I'll be able to do this. But I just went 1 row at a time. I use I have a ruler with a little clamp holding it. I can show you that part. So if I just go over here, I can show you. Like, I just clamp that so I know. The coolest part about this, so it's not memorizable. You can't memorize the pattern really, because every single row is different in this pattern. There's 72 rows, and I do think that doubles in there, so maybe it's 38. Anyway, there's a lot of rows before you start to repeat. So I can't memorize every round. But what I will say is that by the time I get even to the 2nd or 3rd repeat of the same pattern along the sweater in that 1 round, it feels kind of intuitive. And I did make some mistakes. There were a couple of rows. I did the row 14. It was totally me, not the pattern. I missed something. I missed maybe a yarn over or something. And I kind of freaked out thinking, uh-oh, I'm gonna have to rip it all back. I didn't. I was able to fix it because looking at the chart, I was able to see what was supposed to be right underneath where I needed to be. And anyway, it was beautiful. Andrea Mowry's patterns are, if all of her patterns are like this and like this well written, it is a game changer when you can actually work with a pattern that is so well written. I highly, highly recommend it. The other thing I didn't know was how much the mohair would change the look of my yarn. So it has, first of all, like, can we just admire that halo? Look at that fuzz. It's so soft and squishy. It mutes the color a little bit, which is fine. It's fun. I didn't know that that was going to happen. But yeah, it's good. So it mutes the color a little. It looks really beautiful. I just love it. It's a beautiful, beautiful pattern. So I am following the pattern exactly. I'm making size 3. I'm on the same needle size. My gauge is slightly off, but the size I picked will work no matter what. The only modification I made was that I didn't do as long of a hem. Partly because I was really excited to get started, partly because I just liked the look of a shorter, slightly shorter hem. So I think I did 3 centimeters less hem on the back and then a few centimeters less on the front. So I'm just working away on this. So this is my little, I found this little progress keeper at Michael's actually. I think it's like a bracelet or necklace charm. They can come in if they want. It's okay. He's trying to go into the oh, my dogs came in. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like a bracelet charm or something, but I just thought it was super cute. So I'm putting it on there. So that's as far as I've gotten today, which is pretty impressive actually. It works up fast. I'm really loving it. I cannot wait for it to be done. But this is a at-home only project because I have to pay attention. So I noticed this morning when I woke up, I had a few mistakes because last night I was quite tired when I was working on it towards bedtime. So they were easy mistakes. I had missed some yarn overs. Actually, I had missed a yarn over in every lace panel in the same spot. So it was fine and I was able to fix it, but it's definitely sorry, my dog's like gonna try to steal my yarn ball. She's apparently a cat. Yeah, so I will make, like, this is a project for at home. Very excited to see when it's finished. I'm loving using the mohair. This is my first mohair sweater. I know what all the fuss is about now. It's pretty amazing. So I wanted to go through, let's do some yarn acquisitions because I did have a little bit. I showed you my Yarn Unique UK Ravenclaw socks. So this is 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon, 420 meters per 100 grams. I believe it's a 70 and a 30. To be honest, I really got it for the project bag. Oh, and I found them on Etsy. Yeah, I was looking for Harry Potter stuff on Etsy, Harry Potter yarn related things, and that's what I found. So that came this week. Of course, my Unico yarn stuff came this week. And then the other yarn acquisition I got this week was, it got all messed up in the order that it was in because my kid took them out and played with them, but I ordered these. They came up in my Instagram, probably an ad. I'm a sucker for those Instagram ads. They know me too well. Olive Park, not and, Olive Park yarn. And I got these minis. So this is a Canadian dyer. I want to say that this is from Manitoba. I'm pretty sure, but I found her on Instagram, went to the Etsy shop, bought this yarn. Oh my goodness. I believe it was the spring flowers set. Like, oh, it's so gorgeous. It has some yellows and greens and purples, pinks. And she also, her name is Denise. I got a really lovely email from her. It was so sweet. And she sent me a DK mini in a colorway that it did not have a band. So I don't know. Or was it Sidewalk? It might have been Sidewalk now that I'm thinking about it. For some reason that is ringing a bell. And I don't have anything else that would be called that. So maybe it's Sidewalk. Anyway, it's so cute. I don't know what I'm going to do with that mini specifically, but I'm going to add it to my mini jar. I have like a little fishbowl of minis. So for these, that's all my acquisitions. So now I'm going to tell you quickly on Thursday when I made my plan of what I was going to work on, how I was going to use up my yarn, what patterns I was going to do. I decided that I was going to make the Secret Garden wrap with this, which is a Nora George pattern. And I was looking that up because I have Nora George. Sorry if you hear noises. My kid is making something to eat in the kitchen and our house is open. So what she's doing over there, I can hear here. I was looking because I have a Nora George mini set, mini Harry Potter set. So I came across this and I thought the Secret Garden. Maddie, are you done? Are you done? In like 2 seconds. You're just making so much noise. Okay, the Secret Garden wrap shawl scarf, and it's got, I think, a 4 pattern repeat, and it would just be absolutely stunning in these colors. So that is something I'm going to make at some point. These this yarn, these minis are allotted for that project. Okay, so I'm going to look on my list here. So I talked about my Flax Light. I talked about my Scove Bear shawl, my Rise socks, my Arabesque toque, the Mrs. Weasley jumper. And then I have talked about my, I have a Knit Picks Wool of the Andes blanket that I'm working on. It's a huge multicolored striped blanket in 100%. Wool of the Andes is 100% wool, and I got worsted, so it's nice and squishy, and that's just on my list because I wanted to put all of my unfinished projects, my whips, on there. The Secret Garden wrap with the Olive Park yarns, my Pink Fizz with the Unico yarns, and then I'm going to make Misty Morning Mittens with and I'll just put a picture here. The Misty Morning Mittens. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. And of course, all the links you can find below, like always. I'm going to make that with the wool that I got, the yarn that I got from my local farm. It's called Yellow Point Farms. It's so sheepy. So I'm going to do maybe even just striped with helical knitting to make some mittens. I have 1/4 pound. It's 2-ply 1/4 pound of each. So I'll probably be able to make a couple pairs of mittens, which is awesome. So that is a plan. If it happens this winter, probably not. But that's okay. It's on the list. It will get done eventually. Then I have the Lupin sweater, which again, I'll just show a picture of. And I'm going to use my Ravenswood Co. 85% merino, superwash merino, 15% nylon. And it's the color Fireflies. It's so gorgeous. That one I'm super excited about. And then I have my Christmas tree sweater by Originally Lovely. I can never remember her first name, but I started it last year and I ended up making it. It was literally, it's a bottom-up sweater, and I had done all of this intricate tree pattern, and I was paying so much attention to doing the tree cabling that I wasn't paying attention to the size. And of course I had not done a swatch because I like to live dangerously. I don't really do swatches. I tend to use my item as a swatch once I get some of it knit, and then I can tell. Well, anyway, this came out like literally 2 of me could have gone in it. So I undid it, and I will do it again. And this is Cloudborn Highland DK in a purple color, which I have ball bands over there, but I can't remember the actual name of it, but it's purple. And then I'm going to do the Flora jumper, which I also will put a picture of. And that is going to be in Ravenswood Fiber Co. Behind Closed Doors. So I thought I was going to do this with my Leo and Roxy, but they're slightly different because these are 85% merino and the Leo and Roxy is 75. So I just wanted to save these to work on them together. So the Flora sweater I think will be perfect for these two. And I'm going to redo Maddie's Time Turner sweater, which I showed in the first video. It's too big, so I'm going to frog it and redo it at some point. It is not a rush project because it's completely done. She's worn it. So it's just not a rush project, but it will get done. And then those are all the projects that I have like solidified. I have more of this, and I have on here with this merino, Knit Picks merino, that I'm going to do some kind of scarf. I just put a garter scarf or wrap because it just would be so soft. So that's on my list. And then I put yarn to find patterns for. So I have this, which is Knit Picks Muse Speckled Delight. It's so pretty. The colors aren't showing up super well, but you maybe get it. It's very pretty. I have the yarn Unique, which I'll probably make socks from. I have Nora George minis, the Harry Potter minis, which I genuinely have no idea what I'm gonna do with. I have these. Now these, maybe you have an idea for these. Oh, I bet one of these is called Sidewalk. This is called Sidewalk. So that other one from Olive Park Yarns is not called Sidewalk. So this is Mid Knit Cravings yarn. Another Canadian dyer, 85% merino, 15% nylon. And I have these beautiful 5 colors. It's a purple fade. And I'm not sure what to do with this. So I'm thinking this might make a nice wrap or a shawl or something like that. So I have 100 grams altogether of this. So that's something I need to find a project for and assign a project for. And then I have my big ones, my Holst garn. So I have these 2 cones, which are what made this sweater. And I have a ton of these left. This sweater, I think, so these are 500 grams each. And this sweater was 400 grams total. So there's approximately 300 grams left of each of these. And I have this one. So that's why I really want to be able to wear it, because I just have so much of it to use. So this is in the colorway Graphite. It's gray, a really dark kind of charcoaly gray. I like this a lot. I want to be able to use it. I don't have a project for it yet. I was thinking maybe my brain is a Felix cardigan, holding maybe even triple, like making 3 balls of this and holding it triple. That might be nice. Oh, my other acquisition since my last video is that I got an Amish sorry, no idea what it's called. Yarn spinner, winder, yarn swift, an Amish yarn swift. Maybe I talked about that in my last one, but I got a Amish yarn swift, which I love. And then I was at Michael's and I bought a ball winder. It's not my favorite. It will be going back to the store. It doesn't work very well. My yarn fell right off the end. So I have since ordered a wooden, a different one off of Etsy that hopefully will work much better. So that's where I'm at today. This one was a little bit longer. I had a lot to show. So yeah, if you have ideas for this Holst garn, or if you've used it and you know how to soften it, I'll say I'm still not finding this very itchy. You've probably noticed I've pulled it down a few times. I don't actually think that's the sweater. This shirt rides up. It's a weird fitting shirt. It was so cheap. It was like a Walmart $5 sweater, or shirt, I mean. But that's what's pulling the sweater up. The sweater itself does not ride up. But I'm not feeling, yeah, I'm not feeling itchy at all today with this. So maybe it's not as itchy as I thought, and I'll wash it and give it another go. So yeah, if you have any ideas for the Holst garn, let me know. I'd love to hear your suggestions for patterns. I love looking at patterns on Ravelry. And yeah, I'm gonna share some photos and video of this beautiful winter wonderland that we're in. It's pretty magical. Yeah, so that's it for now. I hope that this video has found you healthy and safe. I hope you got to spend time knitting and that you're feeling good about all the things you're doing in your day. And thank you for spending some time with me, and we will chat again very soon. Bye-bye.